Welcome to the first episode of Bites of Italy. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Scotty.
We uncover the hidden gems of Italy's culinary and cultural landscapes. Today, we're starting our journey in Florence, exploring some of its most iconic restaurants.
All right, picture this. You just got off the train or plane in Florence. You're ready for some amazing food.
You don't want any of that tourist trap stuff.
Exactly.
Well, that's where our podcast, Bites of Italy, comes in. We're going to help you find some amazing food.
Yeah. For our listeners planning that trip, we're talking about, finding those hidden gems.
Where you can get a taste of real Italian cuisine without the tourist crowds.
Right?
Forget those pasta places right next to the Duomo. We are going off the beaten path.
Absolutely. Florence is a city overflowing with culinary history and tradition. It's so easy to get lost. We thought it'd be good to narrow it down to 3 restaurants that we think you will absolutely love. They each offer a glimpse into Florentine cuisine from Cucina Povera to a more modern, elegant kind of menu.
Yeah. Today we'll talk about trattorias and osterias that just completely blew us away.
Oh yeah, and we did our research.
Oh, we did for sure.
We wanted to find the best.
These are places where you can practically taste the history.
The atmosphere is incredible.
You really feel like a local, not just a visitor.
But before we delve into these amazing places, let's quickly talk about something our listeners might be wondering. What's the difference between an osteria and a trattoria?
Good question. So a trattoria is an actual restaurant serving traditional local food. An osteria traditionally started as a very simple place to eat. Think of it as a tavern where people came more for wine and maybe a little food on the side. Over time, many osterias evolved to focus more on food, serving hearty, home-style dishes at reasonable prices.
And now the lines between osteria and trattoria have blurred over the years, making it hard to tell them apart in some cases. In fact, there are many Italian people who can't tell the difference themselves.
And the best part? Both have that unmistakable charm and dedication to showcasing regional flavors. So you're getting an authentic taste of Italy no matter which one you choose.
That's why we're so excited about the spots we're sharing today. They each have that unmistakable Florentine charm.
Exactly. So first up, Osteria Mangiando Mangiando.
Ooh, I love that name.
I know, it means eating, eating.
Yes, exactly.
That's basically all we do in Florence.
I know, right?
We are just eating and eating. So, Osteria Mangiando Mangiando, it's tucked away near Fortezza da Basso and the social hub.
Yeah, about a 15-minute walk from the train station. And I'm telling you, it is a meat lover's paradise.
No wonder, since the real queen of Tuscan cuisine is meat.
And what really struck me was the passion of the chef, Salvatore Toscano. You can tell that he pours his heart and soul into every single dish. And it's really inspiring too, because he started out as a pot washer and worked his way up to become like this renowned chef.
Talk about dedication. And now he's running this incredible osteria with his wife Myrna. They make you feel like you're a part of the family the second you walk in.
Instantly.
I love it. It's like you can feel the love and care in the food at these smaller family-run places.
Absolutely. And Chef Toscano sources all his ingredients from local producers that he knows personally.
Like, you can really taste the freshness and the quality.
Exactly. I mean, that's what makes Tuscan cuisine so special, that connection to the land and the ingredients. Oh, and the menu changes with the seasons too. So, you're always getting the best and freshest local ingredients.
Okay, so speaking of the menu, what should we expect?
They are all about the Cucina Povera, which translates to poor cuisine. In Tuscany, Cucina Povera has a long and important tradition.
But don't let that fool you. It's about taking simple, affordable ingredients and turning them into delicious meals.
But it's not just about using, inexpensive ingredients. It's about transforming them into something really special. It's a reminder that good food doesn't have to be fancy or expensive to be delicious.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tradition born out of, resourcefulness and just like a respect for using every part of the animal. You can really taste the history in the food.
And speaking of using every part of the animal, one of the antipasto is the tongue with green and red sauce.
Yes, it's a classic in Italian cuisine. The dish features tender veal tongue, typically boiled with aromatics until it's melt-in-your-mouth soft.
The true taste of Cucina Povera. I must admit I was a little hesitant at first, but I'm so glad I tried it. The sauces not only enhance the taste, but also add a pop of color to the presentation. It was surprisingly delicious. If anyone had told me I'd be raving about veal tongue, I would have laughed.
I know, right? And another good example of pork cuisine is ribollita, which is a hearty vegetarian bread and vegetable soup.
Oh, that was so good. Perfect for like a chilly evening.
Yeah, it was a warm hug, perfect after a day of exploring.
It's like a Tuscan grandmother's hug. In a bowl, it warms you right up.
It does, from the inside out.
It's fascinating how Italian cuisine transforms humble ingredients into such delectable dishes.
It is. And what are other dishes you should really look out for?
Of course, you can't go wrong with pasta. Here with Cinta pork sauce. The Cinta Senese pigs are a native breed of Tuscany bred since the time of the Etruscans, an ancient people.
The pasta was cooked perfectly al dente, and the ragu was so rich and flavorful.
And if you're feeling a little adventurous, you can try the oven-baked pork neck, which in Tuscany they call scamarita. We're talking melt-in-your-mouth deliciousness.
Sounds amazing. Plus, everything is served with fresh-baked Tuscan bread and the most amazing homemade desserts.
Top it all off, they have this incredible selection of local wines that pair perfectly with all the food.
Yes, wine is not considered a luxury in Italy. It is an integral ingredient of every meal. So, to have the full local experience, it is worth ordering at least a small carafe of house wine.
Exactly. For many, house wine is synonymous with low quality, but in Italy, this is not quite the case. Italian house wines are usually grown and produced locally. So, in fact, the vino della casa that can be found in restaurants with a good reputation, as well as in authentic family-run joints, is often actually quite good. And the house wine at Osteria Mangiando Mangiando is very good, and you can definitely go for it.
And speaking of Italian dining customs, most restaurants in Florence stick to pretty traditional hours. You know, open for lunch from like noon to half 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then for dinner from 7 p.m. onwards.
Right, so just plan accordingly.
Now, if you are looking for something a little bit more down to earth,
Yeah.
you know, for a true taste of old school Florence, you have to check out Trattoria Sergio Gozzi. This place is right near the Church of San Lorenzo and the Central Market, one of the most historic parts of the city.
Yes, we found this place when we were exploring the San Lorenzo market, and it was like stepping back in time.
Oh, it really was. It's been a Florentine institution since 1915.
That's over 100 years, serving authentic Tuscan food. Imagine all the stories those walls could tell.
It's amazing, and it's still so popular. We saw everyone from families, locals, tourists, to government officials. It was awesome.
So, what's the experience like at Trattoria Sergio Gozzi?
I would call the atmosphere no frills.
Yeah.
It's simple, bustling, full of character. I read somewhere that introducing tablecloths here was a big deal. The family was so committed to tradition that for the longest time it was bare tables. No frills, just the food.
So, can you imagine like you walk in there, you're expecting this like tablecloth experience and there's just bare tables?
Get bare tables. But that's how they were. That's how committed they were to this traditional, experience.
So, okay, enough about the tablecloths. Let's get to the food. What kind of food are we talking about here?
This restaurant is a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of Cucina Povera. So we're talking traditional Tuscan cooking, the kind of recipes that have been passed down through generations.
Yeah, kind of recipes that nanas have been making for centuries.
Exactly. Think hearty, very simple dishes composed of few seasonal ingredients, but exploding with flavor.
The Gozzi family is deeply passionate about their food, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what's delicious on the menu?
The Tuscan crostini, a classic antipasto, toasted slices of hearty bread topped with creamy chicken liver pate.
And then for the first course tortelli, it's a type of filled pasta, here served with a truffle and mushroom sauce.
Ooh, I love truffles. The pasta was perfectly cooked, and the sauce was just bursting with these earthy umami flavors.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. But are there any other specialties that we should mention?
Peposo. It's slow-cooked beef stew with tons of black pepper. Peppery goodness. It's amazing how those few ingredients, the beef, black pepper, red wine, can create such a complex dish. It's really all about slow cooking and letting those flavors blend.
And I learned that Peposo has a really cool history.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was a dish that was created for the brick kiln workers in Impruneta.
Where's that?
It's a town near Florence, known for its terracotta.
Interesting.
And the pepper was key for keeping the workers warm and energized during those long, cold nights.
That's fascinating.
So it's not just delicious.
It's got a great story.
It does, it really does.
I love that. Oh, I almost forgot to mention the vegetarian Pappa al Pomodoro, one of the most traditional Tuscan soups, made with unsalted Tuscan stale bread, tomatoes, and olive oil.
This soup is a typical Tuscan dish of poor cuisine, which was originally a way to reuse stale bread.
Yes, so flavorful, simple but so good. That really resonated with me, like the simplicity of the dishes and the atmosphere at Trattoria Gozzi. It's so unpretentious, straightforward, and focused on the food and the experience. There's beauty in that simplicity. It's so genuine, refreshing.
Yeah, almost felt like a palate cleanser from all the ornate beauty of Florence, right?
Right. It felt authentic, grounding. A reminder that Italian cuisine is about bringing people together around a shared table.
But what about the prices? All this incredible food. I'm guessing it's going to cost a fortune, right?
No, that's the best part. The restaurant is actually surprisingly affordable.
Really?
Yeah, main courses start around €10.
€10? It's like $11? Are you serious?
I am. Considering the quality and the location, that's a steal.
That's unbelievable. So you're telling me I can have authentic Tuscan cuisine in the heart of Florence without breaking the bank?
Exactly.
Okay, but there's got to be a catch.
There is a small catch.
Let me guess, no reservations.
You got it.
So if I want to eat at Trattoria Gozzi, I'm going to have to wait in line.
You might have to.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Taste of history.
Yes.
Traditional Tuscan dishes.
Yes.
Budget-friendly prices.
Yes.
But potentially a bit of a wait.
Potentially.
Okay, I think I can handle that.
Yeah, I think you can too. But keep in mind that the restaurant is a lunch-only spot.
Yes, it is.
So, if you're looking for a quick, authentic, and affordable Florentine lunch experience, this is the place to go.
Perfect for fueling up during a day of sightseeing.
Exactly.
Okay, now for our final stop. Are you ready for our next culinary adventure?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's hop across the Arno River to a spot near Palazzo Pittti.
Okay.
It's called Osteria dell'Enoteca.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It's got a totally different vibe.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The team running the place, oh, they're great. Young, energetic, so passionate. The chef is part of this younger generation of Florentine cooks who are taking that traditional cuisine and giving it a modern twist using really high-quality ingredients, and they pay really close attention to the details.
So, the restaurant represents this new wave of Florentine chefs that are pushing the boundaries of the cuisine while still honoring those roots.
Totally. It's like a bridge between the past and the present. Taking those time-honored flavors, techniques, and giving them a fresh, modern perspective.
And they're not afraid to experiment a little.
Yeah, and they're serious about their wine, too.
Oh, serious is an understatement.
Tell us about it.
So, instead of a stuffy old wine list,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
they have a temperature-controlled display case filled with incredible wines. You can walk up and browse the bottles, and the staff can guide you through the options. They're so helpful with pairing suggestions. They really know their stuff.
Sounds impressive. It's like a wine lover's dream come true.
Yeah, we told them we were in the mood for something bold and earthy to go with the beef. And they nailed it.
Nice.
Speaking of which, we've got to talk about Bistecca alla Fiorentina, because you can't leave Florence without trying it.
You can't. So remind us, what exactly is Bistecca alla Fiorentina?
It's a thick-cut grilled T-bone steak, seasoned simply with salt and pepper.
Yeah, but Bistecca alla Fiorentina is not an ordinary steak. It is an impressive cut of meat. Florentines tend to measure the thickness of a steak with their fingers, whereas a truly authentic bistecca will be at least 3-4 fingers, or roughly 3 inches thick. The standard portion size is around 1 kilogram of meat. The key is to order it rare or medium rare so you can savor the full flavor and the tenderness of the meat.
And Osteria dell'Enoteca serves an incredible one. It looked divine, perfectly charred on the outside and beautifully pink in the middle.
Yeah, their food is impressive.
Okay, what other dishes are worth paying special attention to?
So you can start with the chicken liver terrine with Vin Santo reduction.
Oh, with dessert wine that's especially beloved in Tuscany.
Yeah, it was rich, smooth, and the sweetness of the Vin Santo balanced perfectly with the savory flavors of the liver.
Yeah, it was my favorite starter too.
Mine too.
And then pasta for the first course. You can try vegetarian spaghetti with the chef's special sauce, with tomatoes prepared in 3 ways. It sounds simple, but it's full of flavor.
I like that. Sometimes simple is best.
Yeah, exactly. So, what other dishes are worth trying?
Well, for the more adventurous foodie,
Oh, here we go.
they serve grilled beef diaphragm with roasted peppers.
Beef diaphragm?
I know, right?
I've never heard of that.
It's a more unusual cut of meat. I was a little skeptical at first, but it was surprisingly tender and flavorful.
So, it's a cut of meat that's often overlooked.
It is. I love how they highlight these lesser-known cuts of meat. Really shows their commitment to exploring the full potential of Italian cuisine. They really do it justice here. Definitely worth stepping out of your comfort zone for.
Yeah, gotta be adventurous. Okay, I am putting that on my list for next time.
Great! And for dessert, Tuscan cantucci. These dry cookies with almonds are one of the most popular sweet treats in Tuscan traditional cooking.
And the traditional way to eat cantucci is to dip them in Vin Santo wine, which softens them before eating. Needless to say, they are delicious.
I agree. Now, this osteria, it's more on the fancy side. Perfect for a special occasion dinner.
Yes, Osteria dell'Enoteca is primarily a dinner spot, but they also serve lunch from Friday to Sunday, so you have a few options depending on your schedule.
Well, folks, there you have it. Our personal picks for the worthiest restaurants in Florence. You have the traditional, you have the humble, and then you have the innovative, all right there in the same city.
You know, one thing that really struck me is how each of these restaurants celebrates the essence of Italian cuisine, simplicity.
Yeah. What's so great about these traditional Tuscan dishes is that they aren't fussy or pretentious. It's honest, straightforward cooking that showcases the quality of the ingredients.
I love that. Whether it's that rustic charm of Osteria Mangiando Mangiando or the elegance of Osteria dell'Enoteca, there is like this common thread of letting those high-quality ingredients just shine through.
Right? It's like they're saying, look, we don't need to overcomplicate things. We have amazing produce, we have incredible meats, we have these techniques that have been honed for centuries.
Right? That's all we need.
You know, it's funny when we were talking about Cucina Povera earlier, I kind of thought of it as like a cuisine born out of necessity.
Right?
But now, after experiencing it, I see it as like this whole philosophy, a way of life that really values resourcefulness, creativity, and respect for the ingredients.
I totally agree. It's a reminder that, good food doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. It's about appreciating those simple things, honoring traditions, and maybe even bringing a little bit of that Cucina Povera spirit into our own kitchens.
So, as you are planning your trip to Florence, remember to keep an open mind, try new things, and enjoy every bite. Let yourself be surprised by the flavors, the atmosphere, and the hospitality.
And before we wrap up, we just want to say a huge thanks to all our listeners.
Yes, thank you for joining us on this Florentine food adventure. We hope you enjoy listening.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Because we have more episodes for you where we delve into Italian food, culture, and hidden gems.
Exactly. Next time, we will explore the best sandwich spots in Florence, without the crowds. So, stay tuned.
Until next time, buon viaggio!
And buon appetito!
Ciao!